y'all? It's Tatycokley and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to talk to you. Yes, I'm back again. This time with something that has been highly requested. I will pop some stuff on the screen. Highly requested about my fitness / weight loss journey and everything in between. I literally lost 10 pounds doing these things that I discussed in this video, and so I want to share that with you, not because we all need to lose 10 pounds, but because the things that I made have made my life, but because the decisions that I made, the changes that I made have made my life better overall. I feel more energized, I feel healthier, I feel happier, and so you need to know that. We're gonna talk about the things I started eating, the things I stopped eating, workout schedules that actually worked for me, shifting and learning my body, all of those things. And then we're also obviously gonna talk about the internal work and understanding what was going on. So if you wanna talk about that, stay for the video. I am not a dietitian, I am not a nutritionist, I am not any of those things, disclaimer. This is just what worked in my journey. Again, love yourself, love your body, and listen to your body and see what works for you. What I'm telling you is just my own journey, and if you can try it safely, try it and see if it works. I wanted to talk to y'all about it because it's definitely been a journey, and I honestly have learned so much about myself, about my body, about fitness and health in general. I've never really considered myself like a fitness girly or like a health girly. That's not my vibe. Very much a snacker, very much always ate what I want, did what I want, whatever. But the progress that I have made, I can't even believe that I was capable of doing it. The space that I was in before, the sadness because I thought I couldn't do it, and then getting through, it's just a whole thing. We're just gonna chat about the whole thing, yeah? Let's just get right into it. But if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that. We're on a road to 1 million. Join our family, join our sisterhood. We have a community of self-love and sisterhood and women empowerment. So if that interests you, join our channel, become a sister. Okay, anyway, I'm excited to talk about this topic because I feel so much better. And let me start with saying that it's really important to build trust with yourself throughout this process. You have to trust yourself that you can do it. You have to trust yourself that you can stay committed. And a big way that I did that is not only through myself, but with my therapist. I talk to you guys about this all the time. So that's where today's sponsor comes in, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist more affordable and accessible. Starting with BetterHelp is super easy. You can fill out a questionnaire and you will be matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. And you do not have to stick with that therapist. If at any point you're like, I'm not really vibing with this therapist, I want to try another one, they'll switch you out to a new one. No insurance changes, no extra cost, nothing like that. Super quick, super easy. For my statistic girlies, they have over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot. Yeah. Also, beyond just one-on-one therapy, there's a journal inside the platform with prompts and also group sessions so you never feel alone. If you're struggling and you're considering starting your first therapy session, I highly suggest BetterHelp. You can go to betterhelp.com/Taty or click the link in my description and get 10% off your first month. Special thank you and a special shout out to BetterHelp for always supporting this channel and being a huge part of everything that I believe in. If you want to check them out, please go do so. And let's get back into this video. A lot of times people want to lose weight because they want to just fit an aesthetic, because they want to look like so-and-so, comparing themselves, whatever it is, right? For me, the reason why I wanted to lose some weight is because, one, I kind of felt like a stranger in my own body. Let's just start with that, feeling like a stranger in your own body. If you watch some of my other videos where I talked about my weight gain, I gained like 20 pounds in a really small, in my opinion, span of time, maybe over like a 1.5 years. And although maybe everyone else didn't see it, I not only saw it, but I really felt it. I felt like an intruder in my body. It was really crazy. Not so much just on like a visual aspect, but on a physical aspect. I am used to being able to spring right out of bed and pop right up and eat what I want. I was used to that my whole life. My metabolism was so fast. And then I turned 25. And then things started to shift. It started to shift as I crept up on 25. I just turned 25 this year, so I can't blame it on that. But what I can blame is just my body evolving and my choices not evolving with it, right? I think as we get older and as we grow, we only think about maybe mentally, oh, we're getting older, we're getting wiser, or maybe our bodies are developing more, but we're not thinking about the choices that we make with those changes. Like, if my body is changing, I have to change my decisions. If my body is changing into requiring better decisions out of me, then I have to catch up to that and make those better decisions. So I think as our brain is developing, nearing 25, the body is developing, and that's supposed to match up, and the brain is supposed to make better decisions for this evolved body, right? And I didn't match that up. I was still making the same 19-year-old eating decisions at 24. And so the body started to be like, girl, we're not seeing eye to eye. It started sticking. Not only did it stick visually, but I felt groggier. I was waking up later. I felt more out of breath going up a flight of stairs. I felt just really out of shape. And I will say, I realized it's not like an aesthetic anymore. Like, oh, I'm not a gym girly. It's not the vibe. Because really what I'm saying and saying, oh, I'm not a health girl, I'm not a fitness girl. What I'm really saying is I don't love myself. What I'm really saying is I don't care enough about me to do the hard thing. What I'm really saying is I don't love myself enough to wake up and put myself through something for an hour a day. Or I can't carve the time out to make better eating choices. What I will say is everyone has different opportunity, right? What I will say is I had the opportunity to do better and didn't do better. For those of you or those of us that don't have those opportunities, maybe you're working 2-3 jobs and you don't have the time to, make those healthier meals, it's gonna be a little bit harder to carve that in, right? Impossible, no. Harder, yes. I will acknowledge that that was my choice, right? There wasn't really a barrier stopping me from making better eating choices. The barrier was me. The barrier was, I was my own barrier. I stopped myself from being better, doing better, seeing better, showing up better. I stopped me. You're probably stopping you. Sometimes saying, I don't feel like doing this feels like self-care. I'm only hurting myself. I'm only holding myself back. I'm only exhibiting self-love in a way that becomes toxic, right? Think about like a parent to child relationship. This is a relationship you have with yourself. Think about the parent-child relationship of like, I love you, so I'm not gonna let you do this, right? I love you, my child, so I'm not gonna let you eat all these snacks right before bed because then you're gonna be tired tomorrow because you're gonna be wired all night, right? I love you, so I'm not gonna let you jump off the couch right now because you're gonna hurt yourself, and you hurting yourself would hurt me. I love you, so I'm not gonna let this happen. Or I love you, so we're gonna do this homework so that you can be as educated as possible and get where you wanna go. I love you, right? That parent to child relationship. It's not that your parent hates you when they tell you to go to sleep on time, or they want you to do your homework, or they want you to eat better. It's because they love you. Sometimes we become really nasty, toxic parents to ourselves when it's like, I love you, so I'm not gonna make you do the hard thing, girl. Keep sleeping in. Yes, we need self-care, but we also need love in the form of self-discipline, right? And so it's, I love you, so I'm gonna choose to eat this healthier thing today because I love you. I love you, so we're gonna start waking up earlier so you get more out of your day and your life. I love you, so we're gonna go to sleep on time. We're going to maybe go to the gym before we go to sleep so we're really tired and we get that good rest. I love you, so I'm gonna choose to do the harder thing. I love you, so I cannot pacify you. That is the balance that I think I had to learn. In my body starting to shift, I was like, oh girl, I think I don't love myself as much as I thought, because if I am ingesting all this terrible food and not working out and helping my heart and not waking up on the times that I want to and going to bed on time, I don't love myself as much as I thought. Because self-love isn't just liking what you see in the mirror and making good decisions in friendships and relationships and career. Self-love isn't just that. Self-love is also how you show up for yourself when it's hard to do it. I think I had to realize that about myself, that, oh, I don't think I'm showing up for myself when it's hard. I think I'm showing up for myself when it's easy. And I'm doing the hard internal work, but I'm not doing the external work of the food I eat, what I do to help my body, my sleep schedule. So that was the first realization. I also had to realize that as I get older, what my body needs is going to be different, right? The same way as a child, like we're still really children, in the same way that like the baby is good off a bottle in the beginning of its life, and then it's gonna start needing solid food, and then it's gonna need like full plates, and then that's how life goes, and that's kind of how your body is, right? And so now that I'm an adult, my body might just need a little bit more work from me. Before it might have only needed a workout a week. Now it might need one a day, right? Before it might have needed a healthy meal or 2 a week. Now it might need one every day. Like what it needs from me is different, and I have to meet it there, because your mind, body, and spirit, we gotta stay on the same plane. We gotta stay on the same playing field and the same level. If not, things will get all discombobulated and disconnected, and I want my mind, body, and spirit to be in harmony. And the only way to do that is for them to listen to each other, even when it's hard, even when they need more. I have to love myself enough to do more. Anyway, I started to do 75 hard, right? I said, oh, I'm gonna do 75 hard, these twice a day workouts, and blah, 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 right? I'll give you guys an update on that. But once I started working out, I realized, okay, not only am I going to have to work out, I need to change my diet, because I was on a very strict Uber Eats, DoorDash diet, and that is not going to work as you get older. I think I was fearful of food. let's talk about it. I think I was fearful of, will it taste the same as these Popeyes chicken tenders? Will it taste the same as this Chipotle bowl? Like, I don't think so. I just in my mind convinced myself this stuff will not be as good as this stuff. Probably because it takes more work to do this stuff, right? It takes more work to cook your own food. It takes more work to find that perfect seasoning balance when these people already did it, right? But these people did it in a way that's probably not gonna be as healthy for you. So I went to Trader Joe's. You can go anywhere, really. That's also what I've realized now in this process. Like, healthy food and better options are everywhere. But I started to find these options. I'm gonna pop some on the screen in case you guys ever wanna try them out. But one thing I realized is that, and this is coming from somebody who has avidly eaten pretty terribly most of my life, right? Very much a chicken nuggets, pizza type of girl. I realized that these other foods are very good, and not only are they very good, they're really quick and easy to make. These meals that I'll show you guys, very quick, very easy, honestly take less time than waiting 30 minutes for my Uber Eats to get here. And I think it's just about taking the leap of like, this thing seems scary, but like, let me just try it. Worst comes to worst, I don't like the food and then I Uber eat something. You know what I mean? Like, I think I just had to try it. And so one thing that I think really changed as far as my diet goes, let's just talk about diet. One thing that I really think changed and helped me with my diet is cutting out, and I know, cutting out as much heavy meats, especially like processed meats and stuff. Cutting that out really helped me. I can't even explain to you how much that helped me. I was eating heavy meats, greasy meats like every single day. And one thing that really helped me was this penne pasta. I was talking to my parents the other day and I was telling them, I think this pasta was like the culprit of a lot of my weight loss because I was eating it so often. There's no meat in the pasta. It was just a good snack during the day of like, hey, you don't need to snack on these like greasy chicken nuggets. How about you have some tomato sauce pasta? That would be great. And it's light and it's airy and it's quick and it's easy. It's not always about eating an apple. Sometimes it's just about knowing where you start and like inching towards the other direction, and your body will adjust with you. And I honestly think that was such a big culprit of me losing so much weight, because I inched towards not having to have meat in every single meal. I'm nowhere near a vegan. I'm nowhere near a vegetarian, but I am in a healthier position now than I was before. I am consuming less meat than I was before. I'm not at the point of feeling like I wanna go no meat or anything like that, but I do think that we don't have to have it every day. And I think not having that like heavy food in my stomach every day was really, really helpful. Two, another thing was definitely cutting out fast food. I didn't eat fast food for like 2 months, and I'm not gonna lie, it did wonders for my body. It did wonders for my body. In doing research, I realized that the reason why fast food is so bad for you is because a lot of the stuff that goes into these fast food products to preserve them and make them so easy to make and quick for drive-thrus and stuff are not natural to the human body. So when our body is trying to digest these things, it doesn't know where to put it. It doesn't know where to go because it doesn't know this foreign item that we just put in our body, and so it ends up like sticking, right? In order to stop that, we have to introduce our body back to the things that it knows, right? Back to the more natural things. That's a whole nother debate right now with all these like pesticides and stuff, you know, but at least moving away from the grease and the frozen preservative of everything. Moving away from that and just carving out the time to do the hard thing of the self-love of cooking for yourself. That would be my next thing. Rather than looking at cooking as a chore and like a, oh my God, this is so annoying, because that's how I used to look at it. Shifting that into, I am doing something, I'm doing an act of self-love for myself. You'd probably cook for your partner if they asked, right? You'd probably do that because you'd want to give that act of love, but you need to give that act of love to yourself. I look at cooking, I put my favorite music on, something relaxing over the speaker. I think about my meal. It's something, it's an intimate time for you and you. As much as we have intimate times with our friends, with our family, with our partners, you have to have intimate time with yourself. And I think cooking is such a great way to do that. How much more intimate could it be if you are physically making something for yourself out of love that you are then going to ingest? Like, it is no more intimate than that. Like, that is just a beautiful experience. And I think once you start to look at it that way and say, I'm carving out this hour of time to cook for myself because this is my self-care time, and with every single step, every single ingredient, I'm gonna make sure I give it my love, my all. I'm going to make sure I am so present in this moment because I then get to ingest something that I made just for me, maybe for others, you know, that's awesome. And so I think changing your relationship with cooking will help you change your relationship with food. I think experimenting is also something that is awesome to do. Trying things, trying the stuff as you make it. Like, it's a whole new world, girl. It's a whole new world, and it's just about carving the time out to do it. Again, also, waking up, if you have the ability to, waking up early, starting slow, having a slow morning, allowing yourself to cook a nice breakfast. Like, rather than you having to run out the house with something quick and easy, like, allow yourself to wake up slow, allow yourself to have time for you. I think slowing down is just critical in all of this. We're so fast paced in today's world. We're so, let's just go through the drive-through, let's just do this, let's wake up as late as possible so I can get that extra 5 minutes, and let me slow down before we miss all of the goodness that is in between it. And I think me starting to wake up early, me cooking meals for myself, me cutting out the fast food has really not only helped my body, my image and relationship with my body, but it's also helped me health-wise, and it's also helped me bond with myself. It's also helped me grow within self. And so the weight loss journey could be very spiritual for you. It could be very healing for you if you allow it to be. Now, another big thing that I would say helped me in this journey would be cardio. I used to be anti-cardio because cardio is hard. It's uncomfortable. When it came to like running, sweating, doing this really hard stuff with my heart rate is high, like wasn't my vibe, was never my vibe. But I will tell you something. I was going to strength training and Pilates for like a year straight, right? I put on a lot of my weight there. A lot of it was muscle weight as well, right? It was muscle mass. But muscles were getting built underneath the fat. So I'm not really seeing it like I want to see it. Like, they're fighting to poke through, but like I'm not shedding anything off on the top. So there's this muscle and all this stuff underneath that's like, hey girl, I'm here, but I'm not sweating to get the fat off so the muscle can shine through, right? There's this layer of fat on top. I realized that in this journey, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I need to sweat. I started realizing that there are ways that you can sweat that are fun. They don't have to be miserable. I know I'm not the biggest runner girly, right? Like, I might not want to run for 10 miles, but what I do know is just move. Even if you just walk. I realized in my 75 hard journey, I was walking like every day, at least like a mile and a half. Getting my steps in was an easy way for me. My back would be sweating and stuff during these walks because I'm keeping a good pace. It was such an easy way to sweat, get my steps in, get my cardio up, and it wasn't miserable. Maybe I don't like running, but maybe I can walk. Maybe I don't like running, but maybe I can bike. Rent a bike in your area if you want and push it through your bike. Bike rentals can be really cheap depending on where you're at. I was taking a boxing class and that was really fun. I took a boxing class with my best friend. We laughed through it and we had fun, and we also really sweat. Maybe you take hot yoga. Also, if these things are expensive for you, you can create them in your home. I saw a TikTok the other day. If I can find it, I'll pop it here. You can create your own hot yoga, okay? Turn the heat up in the house. Not too high, safety hazard, but you can make it a little warmer in your house and maybe just do some yoga. Go outside if it's a warmer day and do some yoga. Like, there's so much you can do. Look up online free ways, free cardio, free fun cardio, free cardio activities. Like, there are things you can do to really just get your body moving. If you are not able-bodied in the legs, right? There are things you can do with your arms, with weights. There are things you can do if you watch like a little Zumba class and you kind of do it from wherever you can, however you can. There are ways to get moving. And so let's do it together. And although it sounds cliche and like, oh girl, I'm literally telling you, if I could tell you one thing, you need to move. The more paused we are, it just allows things to sit and fester in our body. We gotta move and get it off of us. Conjunction of diet, eating less heavy foods, cutting out the fast foods where you can, and getting yourself moving. That right there, the trio right there that you need. Those three things alone, I think literally changed my entire life. I can't even lie to you. And now, it's just about maintaining what I've done, right? So yeah, a big part of this whole process is trusting yourself, building trust with yourself, knowing that you're capable of doing it, knowing that if you try something new, whether it's eating, whether it's working out, whether it's a new type of workout, if you fall, you can get back up. That is a huge part of knowing yourself, of trusting yourself, of allowing yourself to exist. And another huge part of this whole thing is giving yourself grace. I think I was being really hard on myself before I started this journey, and that's why it wasn't working. Once I relaxed and once I said, you know what, I'm gonna get to where I need to be whenever I need to be there, everything started happening so much easier. Once I relaxed, once I made this a fun process, once I celebrated small wins, once I realized that maybe the win isn't always in the weight loss, but the win might be in consistency. The win might be in showing up for yourself. The win might be just feeling better, by moving more often, by eating better, by sleeping better. Like, maybe that's the win. Maybe the win is just trying. And so I think having a better mental space about this and knowing I don't want my body to feel like a prison until I get to where I want to be was the biggest and most helpful change that I made for myself. If you are miserable during this process, your body is going to feel like a prison. Your body is going to feel miserable. It's going to feel sad. It's going to feel dark for you. You're going to feel stuck inside your body, right? This is how I felt in the beginning. You're feeling like a stranger inside your own body. There's no trust. There's no relationship with future you and the you are right now, right? This is where you have to build that relationship, because if you say, I hate my body now, I don't like how I look, blah, 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 your body hears that and shows up that way. Maybe the shoulders start to sit lower. Maybe the body walks a little slower. Maybe the body feels a lot lower and a lot heavier, because you're telling the body that it is not a pleasant place to be. And it is a pleasant place to be. It still shows up for you. Now, how can we make this even more pleasant every single day, right? How can we make this an even more fruitful garden? And the only way to do that is positive self-talk, is by creating the garden for yourself, is by allowing yourself to say, okay, although I may not love where I'm at right now, I love myself enough, and I love where I'm at right now enough to show up, to get further towards where I want to be. And the only way I get to where I want to be is if I accept where I am right now, and then we work together to get to where we want to go. And if you continue to negatively speak to yourself and you continue to say, oh my God, I don't want to do these things and I can't do these things, it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a sad road. And either you're not going to make the changes that you want to make, you're not going to see them, or the changes are going to happen and you're going to see them and it's not going to resonate in your brain, because your brain is so used to being so mean to you. It's not going to resonate when you make these great changes, because it's going to be like, well, I don't see any difference. You might lose the 10 pounds. You might lose the 20 pounds. You might lose whatever. And you might not even notice and see it and accept the change, because your brain is so used to saying, no, I hate myself. So if you set the tone now of I love myself wherever I'm at, I'm just excited to get to where I'm going each step of the way, no matter how long it takes, it will be a more fruitful place, and you'll be able to celebrate each small step, each small win. You'll be able to celebrate if you're just standing stagnant, just taking it all in for a moment, taking a break, and then you move forward. Slow it down. Please give yourself grace. Please know you are worth it. Please be kind to yourself during this process, because you will be so happy that you did in the end. And the relationship that you build with yourself in the process is more important than anything else. It's more important than the goal that we're trying to get to. Building that trust and building the relationship is the most huge blessing that you will get out of this entire thing. And the love that you develop for yourself when you do the hard thing and you show up for yourself will build trust, love, and abundance. I promise. You can do it. You can do it. I doubted myself. I thought that I wouldn't be able to get to where I wanted to go. I thought that I would never lose this weight. I got really, really miserable, got really, really depressed about it. And then I said, or I can try. Either I'm gonna sit and continue to feel like this, or I can try. That's the only thing I can do, because eventually we have to make the choice of wanting better for ourselves, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, and better doesn't always mean skinnier. Better just means healthier, right? And wanting better for yourself, wanting healthier for yourself, is to create not only a healthier body, but a healthier mind and a healthier spirit. And eventually I had to make that choice, because where I was headed by being sad about it and by doubting myself that I could make any changes was teaching myself poor things about myself. Like, you can't change anything. You can't change it. Oh, well, it's over. It's never over. You are always in control. Take control, take the wheel, and make the change that you want to make. Accept yourself where you are, love yourself where you are, and create a relationship with yourself and a partnership to get to where you want to go. Yeah? All right, y'all, so that's it for this video. Talk to me in the comments about your journey. Talk to me about how you feel. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and I will see y'all in my next one.